watching Miami go for the three right away. Just attack the basket. James catches, puts up a three. Won't go. Rebound Box. Back out to Allen. His three-pointer. Bang! Tie game with 5 seconds remaining.
Welcome to the Ultimate Super Coach and Fantasy Sports Show. You are now listening to the Insight Fantasy Sports Podcast.
Boom shakalaka!
What's good, NBA Hoopers, and welcome to Matty Mocks with my friend the Big Horse. How you doing, Horsey?
Hey, mate. Going well. Looking forward to this mock draft. I'm going to be drafting from pick 7 today. Where you going, mate?
I'm going at number 3, and the draft is already on the thick of it, so we'll throw it up there because we're just trying to give all of our listeners the best. Obviously, Luka went number 2, Jokic number 1, and Joel Embiid, mate, has moved his way to consensus number 3, and it's up for me to pick. So, as I've said previously, I am having to, no matter what I do, draft with the consensus. So, I drafted Joel Embiid. Halliburton's gone at 4. 5 is Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. So I'm building an Embiid team. It's my first Embiid team for the year, Mick.
Nice. I'm not sure whether I like Nick Nurse being the coach there. We know he plays his players heavy minutes. I'm going to try a different tactic today, and at pick 7, I'm going to pick up LaMelo Ball.
Ooh. You've liked LaMelo. You've liked LaMelo for a while.
I do like him, but this is the first time I've ever actually picked him up in a draft. So I'm going to go in with an open mind. We just had a discussion on a pod that we recorded about knowing your league and being prepared and be ready to pivot if required. So I'm going to make a couple of draft choices and then look to see where my team's headed and then look to punt some builds courtesy of the guys at Fantasy Scores. I'll input my data into that and see what it recommends me do.
Yeah, mate, I think it's important for all of us to bear in mind that when we're doing drafts, we're trying to build the best team that goes around us for this one. And when there's so many picks to go in between you, you're trying to fill it out. So obviously with Embiid, I'm strong across the board apart from assists and steals. He's got a beefy free throw percentage for a center. That's kind of sexy to think about, isn't it, Mick?
It is delicious for a big guy. He does a bit of everything. Turnovers, they're a killer, but if you're going to punt turnovers, then he's almost ideal to have.
Unassailably, somebody that you want to have in your team if that's a guy. Like, if you're punting, and people do punt turnovers, do you find that's one of the builds that's most frequently done? Like, people just I'm going to punt turnovers and something else.
Yep. Punt turnovers or punt field goal percentage at times too. Yeah. So early on, that's the way I'm looking at the moment with LaMelo Ball. I'll just see how this pans out.
Who are you hoping?
Probably Jaren Jackson Jr., to be honest with you. I think he'll give me the defensive side of things that I'll require, and he's fallen to me, so I'll take him to partner with LaMelo. So I've got a 6'7" point guard that he gets steals, occasionally gets a block. I've got Jaren Jackson, who's very good defensively. So I don't mind that pairing. But again, we've highlighted the fact of doing some mocks and being ready to pivot and what have you. So this is all new. They're 2 players that I've never drafted before. So I'm interested to see how my team ends up from here.
Yeah, so going off the board after old mate, we've had guys like Sabonis was there at the end of the first round. Sabonis has crept into first rounds quite frequently lately. Ant Edwards at 13, Lillard at 14, Durant, Booker, Mitchell. You took Jaren Jackson Jr., Mikal Bridges, not to be confused with Miles, which we've seen in a couple of drafts. Now, Karl Anthony Towns is crept back in now to the top 25. He has. That wasn't the case for a while.
Yeah, he has. And I think that's where he belongs. He's a really, really nice fantasy relevant player. With the Timberwolves, do you see Towns moving or do you see Gobert moving? Because one of them has to go for them to be successful.
I keep on thinking that we say that a lot, but I haven't seen it happen. I haven't seen anything apart from them all trying to play the best basketball possible and get along and fight some good fights. So at this point, I'm actually really undecided. I actually don't know who I would rather have or go. I do know that I'm probably in a position where I'm going to have to draft Trae Young because I want a point guard. I'm going to try and spice it up, get a lot of points. I get some threes. I have a high free throw percentage right now. I'm going to get some assists in there. I am going to put in my queue this guy. If you're drafting early on and he's in your third round, he was just taken off the board in front of me. So old mate's taken Harden and then DeJounte Murray and Kawhi Leonard. I am really big on picking up Kawhi Leonard in the third round. He's one of my favorite picks around there. I'm probably going to play it safe, and I'm probably going to have to go for Jimmy Butler. He's my favorite haircut guy in the preseason every year, and
it's delicious.
It is delicious, and I'm just hopeful that he plays more games this season. But he is a top 20 player in fantasy when healthy. He has a very, very hardy field goal percentage, an excellent free throw percentage. Just threes have cost me, but my center in Joel Embiid gets me some threes. So I don't think I've completely tanked that yet.
No. This draft's working out really nicely for you at the moment, G.
Yeah.
We're looking at Markkinen 28, Jimmy Butler 27, Kawhi 26, Paul George, who was in my queue at the 29th pick. I think now might be a nice time into the third round to pick up my boy, LeBron James.
Oh, I thought you were going to go Cade, because this is the thing. I know that I want Cade. I just know I'm not getting Cade. Unless I take him at the end of the second or the third round now, he might return top 20 value, but he might not. We don't know. We might not. But there he goes at 34. I just know if I let him pass me. So if you're drafting in drafts early in the first 6 picks, and if you like Cade, you're going to have to take him in those first 5 picks of round 3 on the turn.
Have to. Otherwise, he's gone.
He's gone.
So it'd be interesting to see what goes on from here. In an ideal world, if I can pick up Evan Mobley, then I've just shored up my blocks and I can be aggressive elsewhere.
So I think you're going to be picking up Mobley because Wembanyama has definitely crept up again. There was some flotation with him maybe dropping out of the 30s into the 40s. He's gone here at 36. Other guys that have just gone before him have been I saw Drew Holiday just go down at 39, and I'll come back to that in a second. But you've got Miles Turner, Pascal Siakam, Bam Adebayo. So some of those Vucevic have gone. So that kind of tier of centers has kind of gone away a little bit. But who's looked really delicious in the preseason? And I know it's the preseason. I know. But who has looked
Chet Holmgren looked sensational yesterday.
Oh, my God. Jordan Poole at 45. Garland at 44. I actually was hoping to snare Garland there. For me, that is the furthest I have seen Darius drop to 40 to 44. I love OG. I've been picking him up at the picks 1 and 2. He's gone at 43. Mobley at 42nd. So this has cooked me a little bit. I do like him, but I'm actually going to pick up Kristaps Porzingis. I like Kristaps.
Good way to pivot. That's a nice player to pick up there.
Yeah, I think it complements my team pretty well right about now. I've got my small forward, power forward. Now, there's another guy who I loved in the now, I do love Chet. I'm not going to lie. I'm very high on Chet. I can feed that now. But right now in drafts, I'm going to look for either Tyrese Maxey. I'm liking what he can possibly return for me. I like him a lot. Yeah, this is a bit of a punt for me. I'm not going to get him if he comes back. Josh Giddey went off before that at 49. That's early. And Scotty Barnes before then at pick 48. De'Aaron Fox at 47, who was sitting on the board there for me, but I went with Kristaps. If I wanted another point guard, do I feed that? But I don't like his free throw percentage. And I think Maxey has the better one there. And I think Maxey's roadmap in Philadelphia right now is possibly looking better.
For sure. So we've highlighted the fact in previous episodes that you need to learn where to pivot. And I am now going to, because it says that I'm strong in almost every category apart from free throws. So I was going to pick up Zion, but now
he's gone
at 55, Julius Randle.
Now, Julius is an interesting one. People love to hate him, but he is a contributor across the board when playing at his best.
Yeah, he's durable. He's the number one option alongside Jalen Brunson there in New York. Field goal percentage might take a hit, but pretty happy there at 50. What was he? 55.
Yeah, after that, talk us through who's gone off the board there, Mick.
55, 56, Levine, 57. The more I hear it, the less I like it. DeMar DeRozan. Jared Allen, 58. Brandon Ingram, 59. Hero at 60. He's crept up a little bit. Gobert at 61. Beal, 62. Holmgren all the way to 63. Şengün and Wagner. For me, I'm looking at picking up a guard here. This boy is SG eligible and fits my team well. Your boy, Jalen Williams.
Yeah, I like Jalen Williams. I'm not going to say anything about Jalen Williams. Every time I mention
someone jumps up. Yeah.
No. I'm not disrespectful to about. I like Jalen Williams, and I think the fact that you've just got him at this position is really good ADP range. Like this for me, if you're picking up Jalen Williams with the 65th pick, he could return like top 50. Like some people have said top 50 value. If that's the best case ceiling scenario, you've just got a great pick around early, and that's great.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you know what you're getting.
You know what you're getting. I think he's at pick 66 right now, where he's on the board with you. I think that's an absolute. I will say it's a steal. And it's back to me. So, my cue. Chet's gone. Jarrett's gone. I'm probably going to have to go early on. I'm going to play Paolo Banchero. Now, I don't like Paolo as much as other guys this season, but I am going for this big team across the board. So I'm trying to just bring in that depth and height. There's another guy that I'm pretty finding tasty that I picked up who I liked in the preseason, and only it's a small. There he is gone already. Cam Johnson. Oh, damn, I didn't see Cammy Johnson go. I've got another guard spot that I want to probably fill in. It's probably around that time that I'm going to have to take a bit of a flyer on this guy, but I think he's a solid pickup for me right about now. And it's Tyus Jones to fill that other guard position, because I think he has a potential to lead the league in assists this season. He gets me steals. He has a very good field goal percentage, and I think that's going to play into my team quite nicely there at the end of it.
100% it is. There's one bloke who, he's kind of slipping a little bit, but it surprises me because I see him as top 60 value when he's on, and that's Kyle Kuzma. You've spoken about him a lot in the preseason, and people don't seem to be catching on just yet. So I'll be more than happy to take him at 79 if he's there.
I am not gun shy to take him. I am just not taking him at the sake of, I'm talking about him, but I'm not trying to take him, if that makes sense. I'm not trying to show my hand every single time. I think this is good Kuz range. If Kuz falls into round 8, then that is an absolute steal for me. I love Kuzma.
Let's run the gauntlet. Let's see if he's going to stay.
You're going to run the gauntlet?
Yeah.
I'm
going to pick up Jalen Green, and I'm going to see if he comes to me.
Jalen Green is an interesting one. I think he is one of the guards in most leagues that has really started to rocket on up the board. I think he has really rocketed up the board. The roadmap for him is quite high. Houses Middleton at 82. And there you go. You ran the gauntlet. And what happened at pick number 80? Straight after you.
Gone. Yeah, he's gone.
So Kyle Kuzma, he is being taken in the top 80 almost every day of the week, Mick. So I think people aren't sleeping on him. But again, the two other guys in Washington have gone first because of that shine on Jordan Poole, because of the newness of Tyus Jones. It is allowing a little bit of slippage to Kyle Kuzma, who I'm very intrigued by what he can bring to fantasy this year, mate. Robert Williams at 88, that's decent because we've seen that Robert Williams has fallen outside the top 100, outside of the top 100 guys. So that's an interesting pick. Mark Williams, Biggs. Here we go.
Oh, I just had him in my queue. I was about to select him. Where's all my players going?
Oh, well, thank you, Yahoo Integration. There was 2 more guys I was looking at for those for that center role, power forward. Oh, did you? Oh, you son of the omelet! You took the omelet for me.
Did you see that he splashed 2 threes today and really active on the defensive end?
I did. I like Okongwu. I like Okongwu. I've been high on him all preseason. I picked him up in one of our leagues already. Love him. I just put him in there. Look at the run of centers. That JV's just gone. Okongwu, Williams, Robert Williams, Mitch Robinson. have all just flown off in the most recent
86 for Mitch Robinson. Do you think that's high?
Not if you need blocks. Not if you need blocks and if you're a field goal percentage strong team. I think it is probably high, to be fair. But if you're looking to facilitate that in your team, yeah, I do think it's probably a tad early to take him on board, to be fair. But this is now where we get to this dicey 100 zone.
I want to ask you. I do want to ask you a question here. You're going to be picking at 94. Does Scoot Henderson enter calculations right now?
Yep. Yeah, he does. Yeah, he does on the turn back around, but I want to fill this other center spot because I kind of like what I'm doing here with Porzingis and your mate, Paul Bankero.
Paulie.
Kind of call him the cashier because he goes to the bank. Look, I don't know, but I like Dan Gafford. I like Dan Gafford in Washington. I've got a bit of a wizard stack happening there. So I'm probably going to have to go there. He is a power forward, but I know he plays center minutes, and I hope they fix that eligibility. But he gets me the blocks. He gets me what I want. Jalen Duren, and there you go. Scoot Henderson. Ja Morant was the other guy I was thinking about. After 100, it kind of become like, where do I get him? Do I pick up another point guard? Bruce Brown's there. I do like Bruce Brown. Miles, look, I haven't taken him yet. I'm going to take Miles Bridges. I haven't taken him one game this season. I'm probably weak. Oh, Jones. Do I get?
Oh.
Trey Jones. I'm going to go the T Jones boys. I'm going to go a T Jones stack.
Yeah.
I like Trey Jones there. I like both of them. I like both. Look, he looked great for San Antonio. And I mean, it is the preseason, but he had a real good chemistry with the team. And I think he had a really good chemistry with Victor.
This is the third time in a row the guy in my queue that I've had ready to draft has gone.
I'm sorry to hear it, Rick. I'm sorry to hear it.
Oh, jeez. What am I going to do? I need points, I need threes, and I need steals. So I'm going Gary Trent Jr.
I like that. Now, this is a great thing. Guys like not Gary Trent's caliber of it, but points and threes are really easy pickups on your waiver wire. So if you're chasing those, the key here is don't to freak the heck out. Oh my God, I'm so short of threes. I'm so short of points. You can stream them in and out. So feed them, get them there. We spoke about this on our Keys pod, didn't we, Mick? On the second Keys pod. Do not freak out. You can pick up this stuff easy. Know your waiver targets. Know how many moves you have a week. You can stream in threes and points quite easily off the back. I'm running the gauntlet right now. I know you can see my queue. I'm going to put him in there. You know who I'm looking at.
Oh, yeah, he's at the top of mine. I'll let you have my boy Josh Hart.
No. Oh, you let me get Hart?
Yeah.
Are we doing a trade?
They're the two in my queue. Yeah.
So you're going to take Josh Hart? Or you're going to take Brucey Brown? Are we going to
I'm going to for the balance of my team. I'm going to take Brucey Brown purely for the point guard, shooting guard, small forward eligibility.
Yep. Okay, I hear you, and I accept that, and I hate you, and you are a good friend, and that's very fair enough.
Hang on. I took the wrong one.
Oh, wait, you did?
Because the guy before me did it again.
Oh, my God, they're both gone.
Yeah. I had Bruce Brown highlighted, and the guy before me, the fourth time now, which is why we say you've got to be ready to pivot 4 times in a row. This has happened this draft.
It is just not your guy. I'm going to pick up someone very interesting who's did not drop in a 3 today in the preseason. It's only the preseason, and I don't mind it so much. But right now, Sadiq Bey, with those guys being gone, Sadiq Bey creeps into mind. He started today. Jalen Johnson was there, who I'm a fan of. He actually performed quite well in the preseason today. I was really happy with him. I am probably going to lean into Sadiq about here. I do need more points and threes, and he's going to give them hopefully at a better clip than what he showed in the preseason today.
Yeah. What do you think of Jalen Johnson? He actually started off really solidly today.
Yeah, I love him, but he's still for me a flyer because he hasn't shown me that love yet in the season. So for me, when I'm looking at Jalen, he's a flyer guy for me, 100%. And we're kind of coming up to that point where we can see the draft results here, and we've got a few more rounds. So I'm probably going to take best. Oh, geez, talking again. Here we go. Trey Murphy, because he's not. When he returns, he's going to be a great pick. And around 120 there, if there's an IR spot, I can put him in there. But do love Trey Murphy. quite a lot. And being out 20 games, he could come back earlier. He'll be reassessed, and it brings it. Ben Mathurin, the starter in Indiana's gone. Clarkson and Sexton have all gone off the list. What do you think of those guys for this season?
It's happened again.
Oh, no. Not again.
Sorry, I'll just make my pick. I need threes, boards, and points.
Yep.
So Obi Toppin.
See, this is the thing. Obi starting. It's looking competitive between him and Jarris Walker. I know there's a little bit of talk about it. It's looking competitive, and I like that a lot. I think that's going to be good for both of them. And then we've got guys after that. This is what we were talking about in that pod as well, Mick. Asua Thompson in the 110s is now where you got to get him, because Asar Thompson, I should say, has now gone off at 128.
Yeah, that's a very handy pick there. Let's try and tell me about Javon Carter at Chicago. Is he
not being picked up in drafts at all?
He's not being picked up in drafts at all. Do you think he's going to be the starting point guard at Chicago?
I do. I think that's why they brought him in. I think it's changed. I think that the dynamics of that team has changed. And I'm very curious to see if they roll out Kobe White again for a second game. Their second game hasn't gone off yet. I am very curious. I'm super curious to see if that's what happens.
Yeah.
Because I liked Kobe White. I mean, throw back to the 2K days. He was like my first little young guy project that I put in.
Yeah, he was cool. Yeah.
He was cool. I liked him. So I've had a lot of love for him for quite a while. But I probably need some more defense now. There is one guy for the Knicks that I'm looking at. I am looking at Quentin Grimes. I'm probably going to pick up, though. You know what? I'm going to do a really safe one right here. I'm going to pick up KCP, although I like Matisse Thybulle around this range. Yeah. Guys who can contribute on my team. I'm actually looking at the Trailblazers game. It's live right now versus the New Zealand Breakers. And Matisse has got some points in there. Anthony Simons is scoring. Scoot Henderson is doing some stuff. Shaden Sharp hasn't shown much off the bench yet. This is all live scores. Malcolm Brogdon, 0 from 2. 7 rebounds. Malcolm Brogdon is leading the team off the bench in rebounds currently versus the Breakers, which I think is absolutely bloody hysterical. I did call him out, but you need to start looking for these flyers out now. And I guess one of my flyers who has a starting role, who can contribute across my board, is Quentin Grimes.
Yeah, nice. Nice drafting. I had him in my queue as well, but there's one other, hopefully he falls to me, and that's Jaden Ivey at Detroit.
Love Jaden Ivey this season,
yeah.
Especially in these last rounds. I don't think you can do anything wrong here with him. I'm probably needing another center to fill out that spot for me at the end of the day. I'm probably needing, funnily enough, I've lent away from rebounds a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Like I've got Kristaps, Paolo Banchero, Joel Embiid, Dan Gafford. Bay gets me some, Murphy gets me some, but I'm probably going to have to bit of a splash on some rebounds to fill me up there. Trades.
So I've just noticed that I've got one center spot to fill.
Yep.
It's a 2-center league, so
it's a 2-center league.
I'm going to pick up Steven Adams.
Yep. Yeah, this is a 2-center league. We should be saying in these Yahoo mock drafts. But for me, I'm not about that. I'm a 1-center league. We play in a lot of 1-center leagues. You have a second spot that has center and forward eligibility, and that's where you can do that. I probably need more rebounds, but I can track some of those down on the last guy. But I'm kind of happy with how this has turned out. Can get some threes in off the waiver. I'm very strong in steals. I'm ended up being quite strong in assists. I'm excellent at free throw percentage. I'm actually quite good at my turnovers. I managed to mitigate those throughout, which I'm happy with. And I'm scoring very well. I'm scoring over 19 a game across the players. So I'm kind of happy with how it's shaken. And you, Mick, how did you finish up there, mate?
Yeah, not too bad. So just running the statistics through fantasy scores, and I am slightly above average in every category apart from free throws, which is fine. I'll be able to stream in some stuff for point or some players for points, rebounds, assists to go from slightly above average to winning cats each week. So I'm right on the edge of being a sure thing for rebounds, assists, 3-pointers made, and points. So 4 or 5 categories I'm pretty guaranteed, or not guaranteed, but pretty highly to win each week. So I'll be able to work the waiver wire there.
So you finished up, read us through. I've got your team up on screen there, Mick. Read us through. You finished with their picking from, what was
6-7.
7.
Yep. So my first pick, LaMelo Ball, Jaren Jackson Jr., LeBron James, Evan Mobley, who was probably my value pick in the late 4th round, Julius Randle, Gary Trent Jr., Jalen Williams, Onyeka Okongwu, Josh Hart, Steven Adams, Jalen Green from Houston, Javon Carter, and Obi Toppin from Indiana. Your team, Jay?
Yeah, mate, I really like the way that shook out at the end of the day. At the end of it, I picked up Trae Young, Tyrese Maxey, Tyus Jones, Jimmy Butler, Kristaps Porzingis, Paolo Banchero, Joel Embiid, Dan Gafford, Trey Jones, Sadiq Bey, Trey Murphy III, Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, and my last-minute flyer was on Mr. Quentin Grimes. Grimy. No, mate, I'm very high on him. I like really what he can bring to the party, and I think that his role in New York is pretty unassailably going to be there from now on.
Mm-hmm. In another good news story from today's preseason games, Jonathan Isaac too, who was a fantasy stud a few years back. 8 minutes, 1 3, 2 for 3 at the line, 1 rebound, 1 steal, 2 blocks, 7 points. So if he can bump his way up to 20 to 22 minutes a game coming off the bench, which I think is quite manageable for him, he might be a nice late stream for threes, blocks, and steals as well.
My attention is slightly starting to turn to him, looking at what he can bring. And it's really important to know that he came off the bench today in those 8 minutes, and he helped that second unit, because their second unit is very interesting. Obviously, Paolo Banchero and Franz Wagner are the guys there, but there is a potential when resting that Wendell Carter Jr., who showed out very well in the preseason today early, he could be almost rested, and you could have a small ball lineup. I know Mo Wagner plays the center spot there as the backup, but you could probably roll out Jonathan Isaac as a small ball 5 and really get some extra value. So I'm curious to see what they roll out with him during the course of the season. But also Herb Jones looking good and not being drafted up early. So and again, these are early hot takes from the preseason. But you know what's a hot take? Fantasy scores. Fantasy scores. Make sure that you jump on and check out our sponsors, Fantasy Scores. You can check them out online at fantasyscores.com. As Mick used today, he used it as a drafting tool. Mick, you found it absolutely invaluable.
Yeah, 4 or 5 times I think it was that I got sniped with my pick before me wanting to take it. So loaded up into Fantasy Scores. At different times I was punting field goals and I was going the old free throws and turnovers. So you go to punt categories, you click free throws and turnovers that you're going to punt, and it shows you the best player available. Happy days.
Absolutely. Jump on and use promo code INSIDE to get $5 off. That's right, $5 off the subscription fee for the year, and you can use that all year long. It's not just for drafts. It helps you with waiver claims. It helps you target and maximize the potential of your NBA fantasy team. Thank you to Fantasy Scores. Mick, thank you very much. That was Matty Mocks from 3.
See ya.